Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. How's everyone doing today? We got our beats rolling. Let's make sure that we are live here. Whoa, that was probably a little too loud. Welcome back to another Clearmud. Perfect. Looking good. Botard, welcome back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry about that. Good morning. How you doing today? Not yet. Baby steps to greatness. What's up, Rue? Welcome back. Swimming in a kiddie pool full of nickels one day at a time. What's up, Derek? I love that. Did 1.7 in sales last year, but spent 1.3. Hey, I like that. Good evening. You are live. Good day, Danny. Welcome back. How you doing today? What's up, Pokemon? What's up, Sharma? Happy Friday to everyone. I'm curious, what's everyone working on going into the weekend? Last night, I was up late. I dialed in the portal, but it does have a coming soon section because I decided to go a different direction. Now, this is not for you guys, right? Unless you're a brand who wants to work with me and potentially work as a sponsor or partner for future videos. That's who this is for. I'm still dialing in a few things. I got the auth logged in. I got the whole process of detecting whether or not they have submitted a request, and you either get a landing page with a rate card if you haven't, and then if you have, you get straight into the portal, created an admin section, and I've created like not necessarily a chat system, but an approval metric or an approval interface where I don't have to deal with emails anymore because there's just a flood of emails coming in. So what I'm going to have one of my agents do now is just automatically reply to any brands reaching out to go to this portal. So it just allows me to manage everything in the portal. It's also going to weed out anybody trying to, I don't want to say take advantage, but there's just a lot of requests that are just not valid and there's just no fit, right? So it's really going to weed out the bullshit, excuse my language, of whether or not somebody's serious, whether or not a brand is serious. I'm really loving how this is turning out. But I was up late working on that. We dialed in Labs OS a little bit more. I'm loving it. I'm loving the progress that we've made. I built most of it in Codex, but now I'm hopping over to Opus 4.7 to get Claude's insight, see what he recommends after analyzing the code base. So, yo, what's up, Aura? Added more features to the pit. Why is okay, that's why that's opening. Nice. Hey, I can't wait to see when you push this live, because to my understanding, right, this is an internal tool. Or are you already focused on your own version of it? First stab at playing with Hermes this weekend. Nice. I just bought the ChatGPT $100 plan. New account to separate from GPT because family uses. Yeah. Got to make sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. But hey, thanks for sharing. Had a long day, went to surf, got back into updating my setup, and now I don't think I'll make it till the end of the stream. Oh, it's all good. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, totally understand. Yep. I'm not sure who shared that news first here on the channel, but it happened like within hours. I'm waiting for the day for them to say, you know what, OpenClaw, you can start using our subs again. When you say Codex, are you talking about the Codex desktop app? Or are you just talking about Codex in the CLI? So I'll give you guys a sneak peek into kind of what it looks like. listen, this is still a very, very basic shell, but I'm thinking from the perspective of you, right? I'm thinking from the perspective of wanting to have all the tools, the compass that you need, regardless of where you are in the process. It reminds you of, you know, what you need to accomplish, right? Off to the right, you can collapse this. So obviously this has Muddy OS's UI. I just love the nav abilities between the modules and then the tabs. So we're really setting this foundation and this skeleton before we start building out each individual module. And then, of course, the compass, I think, is where you're going to spend the most time. This is where you really think about your idea, really think about the unit pricing, because that between your idea and the pricing, you're going to be able to reverse engineer how to get there, right? And I believe backwoods, trying to remember the last part of his tag, he said something along the lines of he'd be happy to hit 20. The reason we aim for 1 million, right, is we'll get closer to a different number than we would if we just aim for 20, right? So if you just aim for 20,000 a month or 20,000 a year for that matter, you may not hit that goal. But if you aim for 1 million, chances are you're going to hit that 20,000 goal with ease, right? You'll get closer, you'll get further along than you would if your target's just higher, right? It's my belief, right? And through experience in the past, the higher I aim, the higher I go, right? So I would just say 10x whatever your number is and aim for that, because you'll get to that original number. But nevertheless, we're slowly building this out, right? They will because they want money. Yep. I'm curious to see how much money they lost in subs after that. Essentially what their April and May monthly reoccurring revenue looks like. They'll never share it, but I'm sure they took a big hit. Desktop app. Okay, right on. Let's see what Claude says here. Yeah. Yes, well aware. The compass strategy doc. Yep, it's the most valuable artifact. Convex scheme is real. So everything in between is decorative placeholder text. Yep. Million is a good first goal, 5 mil, then sell it. Yeah, I agree. Depending on, what it is to you, right? I think these are also things you need to think about up front, right? Is this something you want to do for a long period of time, or are you building it to sell it? You definitely have to answer those questions up front. Yeah, Amar, welcome back. How you doing today? Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. This is why we sold so many restaurants. People can't build to X amount, but if they sell over and it decreases some, then they still happy. I don't know if it's just my slow brain this morning, but that was tough to read. English is hard. English is hard. Good morning, Nikki. No, it's all good. You're right on time. But I'd love to hear, what's everyone working on? I know I haven't released any documentation or any quote unquote course, but I think the two main things you need to think about is, what's your idea? And I highly recommend your idea should play off of your experiences, your strengths, your weaknesses, right? You know you better than I know you, right? That reminds me of that dodgeball quote. You know you. I know you. You know that I know that you. I forget how it goes, but you know what I'm talking about, most of you. You know you better than me, right? I was talking with Derek about this, and he's got some great ideas based off of his 30 plus years of restaurant experience, right? So I would really lean into what you know, and don't think traditional SaaS. Maybe you package it as something else, but you use the power of AI, you use the power of this technology, the power of your knowledge with this technology to package it a certain way, right? Whatever your industry is. So you got to think about that, and then think about your pricing, right? Just first draft. And then between those two variables, you'll be able to start to formulate a plan to get there. Now, it's my aim that this Labs OS will be public facing as soon as possible to help you. But in the meantime, you should definitely be thinking about these things. And I'd love to hear it. I'd love to pin some comments. I'd love to kind of give everyone their spotlight today to talk about their idea and see what I can do to help. All right, let's go back up, read through this. There it is. No, I already read this, my guy. There it is. Yeah, and I'm happy you pointed that out. Like, that's a Claude Code cursor job, or that's an IDE job. Like, I don't want to make another IDE here. Oh, it looks like I was prompting that whole time. I'm not putting in that text. Yeah, Claude, I love that you pointed out that, we're not building another IDE here. That's not the purpose of Labs OS. Now, should we have certain experimental options? Sure. But we're not here to replace Cursor. We're not here to replace Ghosty or create a shell of something else, right? We're creating a unique toolkit that helps people, get to their goal of 1 million in annual reoccurring revenue. So we got to keep that in mind. Now, I'm not opposed to incorporating some of those features, but we do not want to build an IDE and then have to manage it, right? So I love that you pointed that out. And yeah, go for it. And what other docs can we create as well, right? I have you on max thinking, so I really want you to think methodically about Labs OS, about our goal, about its purpose, and give me recommendations as far as what docs are missing, what should we add to this arsenal before you start to build. But But yeah, go ahead and kick off that refractor now. All right, Matthew, I am working on integrating OpenClaw and Hermes agent, soon to be multi-agent. So if one goes down, only half will stop working. Nice, nice. I actually am going to re-record a video today right after stream. And this afternoon, this evening, I'm just full post-production. And then I'm going to be scheduling the 2 videos out this weekend. I think what I'll do is for Saturday's post, I'll even show you. We're setting up this. We're setting up a shared comms, but we're going to do it for our growth department here, right? So I'm going to do it for Warren, and then I believe Link is my growth agent on Hermes. And I'm going to show you step by step how to set up the Discord bots, how to configure. I'm going to work with my main agents, my executive assistants, to configure all this. But I'm just going to walk you through the process of how to create a shared comms channel so that 2 agents on OpenClaw and Hermes can communicate with one another. You set rules, you set boundaries, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's going to be a very awesome video. So that one I'll make sure to schedule first for Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to do the last of the beginner series, where what you should do before you go to production, right? And it's essentially just handing off your code base to Codex. I've prepped this master prompt that runs a security audit. The video I recorded yesterday, it actually took an hour long to record. I used Prompt Browser as a prop because it's an actual production app. We ran into some issues during the security audit, during the deployment. And I actually love that because it shows people that, listen, this is not supposed to be easy. In a perfect world, the security audit will do the fixes, you deploy the fixes, the changes, right? And you're live. But that was not the case when I was recording the video. So I'm going to show that whole process. And it's meant for beginners because I think for most of us here, we know that an industry standard is when you're done vibe coding an app, regardless of what models you use, you should always do a security audit to make sure there are no vulnerabilities, to make sure that nobody can exploit, make sure nobody can manipulate your data or steal your data, right? So yeah, those are the 2 videos this weekend, just to give you guys a little teaser. I'll post that one on Sunday. All right, Rue, I'm working on integrating GHL with my OpenClaw setup to assist with tasks and functions. What we would recommend if I wanted to have a different product for a SaaS? So my recommendations depend on your work experience. What are you known for? What do you do? Like, what do you know like the back of your hand? We used to be able to say UltraThink, but they got rid of that. So oh, so maybe I misunderstood this question. I think you can co-locate it on your same OpenClaw, at least for now, right? I don't think, unless you have, let's back this up. If you have the resources and you're comfortable deploying another instance, why not, right? However, I think you could just create another workspace with another agent that communicates with the rest of your agents, depending on how your setup is, right? Depending if you want that type of cross-pollination between your agents. Right on, right on. So what are you thinking for your SaaS project, out of curiosity? And then my next question is, do you need a dedicated OpenClaw agent team for whatever you're building? Oh, I think that'll be strong enough. I think that'll be strong enough. Yeah, listen, like if you're comfortable deploying another one, do it. But it sounds like you're just on the Mac Mini, right? So you would have to actually set up a VM and separate it. I think, listen, for the sake of testing and just building something out, just create another workspace, right? Another agent with its own workspace and create certain rules and boundaries if you don't want it to cross-pollinate with your other agent or agents for that matter. Hey, Elijah Bar, welcome. How you doing today? Yeah, working on the Axe spam can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, listen, at first, I know I scrolled up. It's gonna take a while to scroll up. Listen, at first it was messy, right? But I slowly defined how I wanted them to communicate, right? And listen, they both didn't just autonomously respond every time a message appeared in that chat. I had to set those rules in place, right? Clearmud, if I turned a member, I was able to learn, make dashboards like yours. Are you talking about the YouTube membership? The YouTube membership is something I put together because somebody asked me, how do I pay for a cup of coffee for you? So I created a coffee crew membership. There's really no incentives behind that. Down the road, I am teasing a Clearmud membership, but I want to make sure that the value I provide is undeniable to the cost. And we're not there yet. So down the road, sure, yes, that is a plan. But at this moment, the best way to make dashboards like mine, screenshot my videos, screenshot my dashboards, and try to recreate them yourself. I do have a deep dive video plan for Muddy OS where I'm going to extract master prompts from Muddy himself so that you can try to recreate your own. Now, the way things are wired, you're going to have to wire things specifically to your environment, your use case, your industry. But the shell, you'll be able to recreate very, very seamlessly. I need research, marketing, orchestrator, coding agents. Yeah. And so your existing setup, how many agents do you have in your existing setup? Yeah, of course. Hey, thank you for the question. I'm pretty good, man. I've been watching your videos for a couple weeks. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Decided to join you in the live. Yeah, listen, this week we're starting a new format. We're live streaming 5 days a week. We're testing this for the month of May. Forgive me, had a little brain fart, but I was also thinking of something else. So we're just testing this new format for the month of May, seeing how it goes. Instead of posting long form videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're now posting them on Saturday and Sunday so that I can live stream Monday through Friday. This week was weird for me. I still had a lot of catch up to do. You know, this is now officially 7 days since I've been back in the country after it being a year gone. So there's just a lot of just stuff I had to do here. I didn't get to record videos early in the week, so I'm feeling rushed here at the end of the week. I think next week and the following week after that, I'll feel more comfortable with this new setup, and we'll also have more tools as well as we continue building out Labs OS, my first front-facing OS that's going to be available to the public at some point. But yeah, like the purpose of these live streams is to help you, right? I want to build out toolkits that are going to help you build whatever it is you want to build based off of your work experience. And I could imagine, man, a video producer for some years now, AI is taking over, so expanding now. That's solid, man. Listen, we have to adapt as human beings, but we also have to use our expertise and our work experience to find ways to make money in this space, right? Like at the end of the day, like we're here for a reason because we don't want to get left behind, right? And more importantly, like we're flexible. I think if you're watching this, you're flexible. I don't mean to single anybody out or offend anybody with this comment, but like, if you're stubborn to new technology, you're going to be left in the dust. It's better to just dive in, learn. What works for somebody else isn't going to work for you, but you're going to learn things along the way. And the fact that you're here right now, I think is solid. So I've come across some new approaches to using like Claude or Codex to create Lua scripts in DaVinci Resolve. I'm not going to make videos about this yet because there's enough videos about it, but I'm essentially optimizing the way I edit videos, especially my long form videos, but I'm still learning the whole process of like, you can prompt now Claude Opus 4.7 to create Lua scripts to do X, Y, and Z. So, you know, I have a process of my post edits where I record the screen share on one file with one audio coming in from this desktop mic. I then have the camera full composition with its own mic, right? So I have two different audio sources. If one gets messed up, I have a backup. So they have two different timelines on the timeline. And then I split, I'll cut out the intro, leave that untouched. I'll cut out the outro, leave that untouched. And then everything in the middle, the sauce, I move up. What I'm going to try to, and then I do certain things to each line, to each, you know, this, I'll add like this little border effect on the long form with a little shadow, all that. I'm going to create a Lua script that once I'm done like managing the timeline and cutting out the intro and outro, the Lua script will come in and automatically apply all the styling I need to the screen share and my frame that's floating up there. I hope it's going to work how I envision it to work. Like, I spend so much time on that detail alone. It's insane. If I have a script that just, I snap my fingers and it's done, freaking amazing. So, but I learned this from, like, I would have never discovered this on my own. I'm not a DaVinci expert. I'm not a video editor or anything like that, like professionally, but I'm learning from professionals on YouTube who are sharing these tricks, right? People who have been using DaVinci Resolve for 10 years, right? Or using a wave of different video editors and land on DaVinci Resolve. So like, listen, I always try to stick to like consuming content from people who know what they're talking about, right? In this case, it's DaVinci Resolve. So I think eventually I'll make a video on it because it falls into AI, but I first want to test it and feel confident in creating Lua scripts. And then I'll share that sauce. Hey, I appreciate that. I don't have it set up yet. Still getting it off the ground. Should have 3 though. Okay, right on. I mean, maybe this is your opportunity to build out this like division or this team that's going to handle it for you rather than creating a whole separate OpenClaw gateway. Like, I would really like, I'm a big visual guy, so I love having this whiteboard again, but I also draw on the iPad, draw on pencil and paper. Try to visualize your team and ask yourself, do you need a separate gateway for it? I think you can probably get away with setting it up on one. Just considering that your initial deployment here only has 1 agent. So that's a very bare deployment. That's good. That's a good sign, right? Like, you have less restrictions to just build a team off of it. Piped in LibreCrawl, a SEO Spire into my OpenClaw today. Worked like magic. Nice. I'm curious. LibreClaw. I typed in LibreClaw. LibreClaw. Crawl. Wow. I don't know why that's so difficult for me to say right now. Interesting. Dude, right on. Hey, thanks for the sauce, Peter. Let's I think this is shareable here. Free open source? I love it. I know there's some digital marketing gurus and experts in here, so I hope you hand this off to your devs. Take note of this. I'm gonna take note of this as well. I'm gonna apply this into one of my apps. Yo, what's up, DJ? Or TJ Maestro in the house. Welcome back. Hodl. Nice. Let's go. I appreciate you. Hey, thank you. So I live in Portugal as well as California. I usually spend half my year between the two countries, starting from 2021 when I got my citizenship there. But this past year, I ended up staying longer than I planned to. Because we also have a farm there. Me and my family, we harvest olive trees. So we get a whole bunch of fresh olive oil every year. And just the timing of everything, when I was due to fly back in September, I was going to have to fly back, 5 weeks after that for harvest. And I just ended up staying through winter. But normally the idea is spend 6 to 8 months there and then the rest here in the States. Working on a Windows machine and it doesn't seem to be very friendly for video editing with AI, but Macs do a pretty good job. It's totally doable. Soon I'll have an AI video editor. Nice, nice. Yeah, depending on the Windows machine, I've noticed like Macs generally, especially these newer M series, these silicone chips, they're just so damn efficient and so damn good. Especially with the AI features. When I use the magic mask sometimes for the intro, it does take a little longer than I would like, but it allows me to kind of multitask, alt tab over to something else. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So what's your preferred, are you a Premiere Pro guy or DaVinci Resolve? What's your preferred editor there? And what's the other one? I feel like there's another one that people use. It's not coming to mind. Yo, what's up? Good morning. Welcome back. How you doing today? Happy Friday. My charger on my Mac shit the bed. Excuse my language, YouTube. I think it won't charge at all. It's 6 months old. The Mac is 6 months old? Or the chart? That's interesting. You can always just go buy one of those. I have this, I don't know what brand this is. I can't pull it because it's plugged into a lot. But it has 4 USB-C ports on it. I think it's a 140 watt charger. But I only have a 96 watt Mac. So I got the bigger one so that I could charge, you know, all my devices at once. But it's a pretty nifty thing, you know, because if it is a newer Mac, it should have that magnetic charging port to a USB-C. So you can use this as well. DJ TJ Maestro, I'll take it. Appreciate you, man. I refuse to leave. Yeah, Derek has been a consistent viewer when we only had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 viewers at a time. He was one of the few people who helped me keep going. I appreciate you. I mean, I was going to keep going regardless, but you definitely like started to reinforce like I'm doing something right if 2 people are sticking around, you know? I want to go to Portugal with you. Azores looks amazing. You know, I've heard a lot about the Azores. I think maybe next year is the year where I explore both the islands, the Madeira Islands, the Azores. I'm more of a mainlander, right? I am an island. I don't want to say I'm an island boy like those fucking guys, but I do love island hopping whenever possible. But it just hadn't been in the cards yet. Hey, better late than never. Welcome back, Backwoods Nomadic. Hope you're doing well, Sean. Thanks for tuning in. We need olive oil. Yeah. For now, it is it's for personal. It's for friends and family. It is very good. I don't mean to toot our own horn. It's just a lot of love and TLC goes into it. We handpick most of them. We do have one of those machines on a telescope arm to reach the higher part of the trees, but we deal with those olives with care, right? We don't use those heavy machinery that shakes the stump of the tree or anything like that. So it takes a little bit longer. It's more labor intensive. But the quality, it's been insane. It's night and day. I think at some point as we expand and get more trees, there was a fire this past year, so our harvest was very small compared to the past, couple of years, because the fire came right up on the property. It was in northern Portugal. It was like one of those. It's a pretty devastating fire for a lot of villages, and we lost about 10 trees. But only half of our trees, we have about 100 on that land, and only half of them produced. So, we're penny pinching olive oil this year. I'm not using it as aggressively as I would in years past because we don't have as much of it to last until next harvest. But next harvest should be good. Should be good. I would live in Portugal if I could. It's so nice there, but I'm stuck in Germany because I haven't figured out the whole remote work thing yet. But at least it feels less crazy than it did. Nice. Yeah. Hey, I think you'll figure it out. I think they're introducing new visa programs where you can come into Portugal and work remotely. I think it's just a matter of finding a company that's okay with you working remotely there, or that, remote work is remote work. Most companies don't care, but I think it's just more of a time zone thing, right? Final Cut is the third one I was thinking of. Yeah, listen, I was never Mac first. So I never played with Final Cut. Okay, nice, nice. Dude, just Amazon. Amazon. Or are you trying to get a new free charger for the Mac? Right, because if it's a brand new Mac, I'd imagine they'd replace that charger if you get to an Apple store. I'm not sure if it'd be free, but happy Friday, bro. Just working on networking between 6 OpenClaws from Maine on Diffland. Nice. Yeah, nice. How's that coming along? Yeah, I'm guessing the fire talk. Yeah, it was a bummer. It was a bummer. No, man, those dudes gave memes for days. Dude, I would totally go. I would totally go. That's an excuse to like move up the island trip for sure. I have an olive tree sapling. Any tips? You mean like a little clone? Little sapling? Why is sapling so confusing to me? I'm guessing sapling means you cut off a branch and you started the rooting process, right? I think it takes a few weeks to like be able to clone a tree or like prune a tree and grow another one from that. I mean, they take a while to produce. Our trees are like, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 years old on that property. No, we go to a local press, a local mill. There used to be a mill powered by a river in the village that my great uncles and aunts used to take all the olive oil to, but that's, you know, it's been out of production or out of what's the word I'm looking for? Out of operation for many, many years. I have not, but I'm about to go check it out right now. Ah, just a baby tree. Listen, I'd say get more than one for sure. But one's good enough. Once it's an adult, it should produce enough for you to cure your own olives, like edible olives. Oh, that's right. One of my cards expired literally the day I was coming back, and I need to update that. I haven't finished updating across all platforms yet. Let's go to Peter's post, though. Is this the one you're talking about 10 hours ago? Yeah, I love it. Nice. I think I'll have to work on that with my C-suite team. But the video I'm posting this weekend teaches you how to do this between OpenClaw and Hermes. I'd imagine you can take the same fundamentals that we do in the video to apply it to OpenClaw. I just haven't personally tested that. Intel just released a new GPU, Intel Arc Pro P70, 32 gigs. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, even it looks like these have been made for a little bit. I mean, this is the older gen. Where's the B70? Yeah, listen, that's a great price for what it's giving you. Huh. Man, I might have to spec a little something out. I love that ASRock is making GPUs now. Do you guys know the story of ASRock? So Asus has been one of the most reliable mainboards, period. End of discussion. In all of my IT days and me growing up around a family computer store. Now, Supermicro for server architectures, yes. But Asus, for everything else, solid. Apparently, the engineering team had a dispute. So some engineers left Asus to start their own, and they called it ASRock. So to me, ASRock is just... I've always loved ASRock when you put them side by side with Asus. I have some ASRock motherboards. I have a mini ITX that has an ASRock that's been running for well over 12 years at this point. They're just so damn reliable. So that's a little fun fact, a story behind the team and how ASRock was formed. Kind of reminds me of, I don't think they're brothers, but it reminds me of the whole Lidl-Aldi thing, where Lidl and Aldi are direct competitors and they're brothers. So every time you see a Lidl across the street or nearby, you'll see an Aldi. It's like this feud that they have. That one has to always open a store within walking distance to the other store. It's hilarious. I don't think that's the case for ASRock versus Asus, but they're, you know, the same engineers that helped found and build up Asus are behind ASRock. So that's why I really stand behind that brand as well. Interesting. Nice. Hey, thanks for the tip. Yeah. Yeah, that too, right? They're very affordable. It's awesome. And they're reliable. It's insane. I mean, you might even be able to get away with, I'd want to do, can we compare? Is there a compare feature? Let's compare to the B60s. Okay, so a significant jump there. Yeah, I feel like that's significant enough for the price jump. But let's compare these side by side. But hey, if you're on a budget, I feel like this, listen, it's the same generation DDR6. Yes, they are faster, but you know, if you want to get something that's pretty powerful for almost half the price, I mean, the B60s are undeniably a good deal. I'm shocked these prices haven't spiked. I've noticed now hard disks are now more expensive. Like everything, just AI data centers, not only memory chips now, not only NVMEs, not only memory, but also mechanical hard disks have almost doubled in price. Crazy, crazy, absolutely crazy. All right, let's go back, show this Labs OS Claude some love. Kind of keep this shown here. Got to make this a little more intuitive. Oh yeah, the pinned post. Yeah. What, you can pull two of them off of 1,000 watt? I didn't check that part, but that's always a good thing. Whew, I haven't popped open Obsidian in a while. open up a new vault. And we'll go to that projects directory. We'll just open up the whole dev directory. Oh, this is separate. So I use it was previously producer.ai, but now it's let's go take a look. It's flowmusic.app. It's by Google. I made all my own beats so that I don't have to worry about copyright strikes on YouTube, videos. I do need to take some time to make some fresh beats, but that's some good background music. And let me know if you don't like it. Oh, I'm sure this is coming, right? That is interesting, though. I'd imagine through all of the PRs, right, on OpenClaw's repository that it hasn't come across. I'd be shocked that somebody didn't suggest that already. But also wouldn't be surprised. Reload app. Come on, Obsidian. I know I haven't opened you in a while, but work. Should I just go auto mode? We're going auto mode. Why not? Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't received one yet. Not one. It's nice. I would definitely fight him. Be like, yo, I'm using your parent company's suite of tools to create my own music. Like, this is not infringing on anybody. Interesting. Do I need to update Obsidian? Let's see. It's just not opening here. Nah, I'm running version 1.12.4. Let's go see the latest version. Oh, there's 1.12.7. I doubt that would make a big difference, but let's go ahead and update it. It's in use. No, I already closed it all. Right? Force quit. Try that again. Yeah, like I could only imagine like Peter's brain. Like he's a brilliant person just based off of his repository and how many things he's deployed and continues to manage. But like imagine having to filter through all these pull requests. Like I know he has a team helping him now, but like just imagine. I don't even want to go look at the number. I'm sure it's an insane number of people trying to make improvements and give suggestions, And then obviously filtering through all the ones who are trying to exploit the platform, or the system rather. Ah, okay. Alpha over here. All right, Obsidian, work. Oh, for sure. For sure. Without a doubt. All right. It is weird. Let me just try opening up the Clearmud Labs directory now. Open folders vault. Okay, that worked. Interesting. Very interesting. I love that. What? Eat your own dog food checklist? Is there something I'm missing here? All right, don't need to check that. Yeah, I have no arguments with any of those docs. Solid, Claude. Thank you. I've noticed that dog food is something my Hermes agent will, a tool that he'll call. So I don't know if it's some new universal tool that all these models are using to generate docs, but I first saw it when Hermes was calling his list of tools. He'll call dog food occasionally. Like, I never bothered looking into it. I just assumed it was some fun new name for some tool. Let's look into it now I'm just curious. Okay. Systematic web application QA testing, dog food, dog food. Makes sense. I have my Hermes agent doing a lot of QA testing. That's why I see that quite a bit. Okay. That's hilarious. It's either that person loves dogs who came up with that or hates them. I'd imagine they love them. Yeah, I think it will. I think it's a matter of time. I didn't see any link. YouTube is pretty secure for, like, I have the built-in moderation features. So it tries to filter out spam or links or anything like that. So I didn't see your link surface. So I'm guessing it detected it as possible spam. So my apologies there. But I've noticed, like, chat is generally nice and clear. We don't deal with too much bots coming in trying to spam the chat, which is awesome. Nice. Nice. Although I'm sure they are conspiring against me. Hand wavy. Hand wavy? Interesting. In Codex, they had to prompt GPT-5.5 to not talk about goblins because it was going a bit crazy. That's hilarious. Same. Let's actually, we can close that one. And we'll split horizontally one more time. Or wait, don't we have bun installed? Bun run dev. Yeah. 7600. So that's off the VM, but this one's local. And you are not loading, are you? Let's make that a little bit larger. I'm laughing because that's just too funny. To use a nerdy personality, interesting. But it started creeping into normal chats as well. I was unaware of this. I never experienced this personally. But I stopped using ChatGPT like Google a long time ago. That's when I first started like using GPT. It was a replacement for Google, but now I primarily just use it for codecs. So I just haven't noticed that at all. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. I see those Easter eggs. Clearmud Labs just like floating down randomly. Nice. I like that. Where's the light dark mode toggle? All right. You guys probably like the dark mode better, don't you? I'll keep it dark. Is it still working? Is that why? Yeah, it's still working. I guess we can also use this browser as well. To actually bring this open, I want to... Why is this... Oh yeah, we got to optimize this for sure. I really got to change those keybinds. Damn it. I set keybinds to change OBS scenes with home and page up, page down because I rarely use them. But now that I'm trying to use them in the CLI, it's changing my scenes on OBS. Darn it. I guess I'll switch them to the number pad / minus star plus. I never use those, I don't think. So... Probably one of the many downsides to training your LLM on Reddit posts. Yeah. For sure. I would expect more trolls than goblins then. Yeah, true. All good, Raymond. Never too late. We're always right on time. Welcome. Reddit has far too many arguments about Dungeons and Dragons. Today, we are actually populating the modules. We have a pretty solid skeleton of how Labs OS is going to work. Now we're actually starting to make sure that each module actually is getting built out. So I handed off the code base today to Opus 4.7 with max intelligence or max thinking or max effort, I think they call it, /effort here, right? Yeah, effort. To just analyze the code base. I gave it a brain dump, a TLDR voice to text of the purpose of Labs OS. Told it specifically, I don't want to change the skeleton, the foundation of the background, the floating modules, the modules off to the left, the tabs, but then everything else is fair game, right? And we've just been kind of vibing through the process today. So perfect. Loads. Now I wanted to go back and see what did it tell us. So compass on today. Now we need to simplify this for sure. Interesting. Noticing a bug where I tried to navigate to the Today tab in the Compass module, and it's just a blank screen. The dashboard works fine. Roadmap loads, diagnoses loads, milestones, blacks out as well. Decision log blacks out as well. And while that works, I'm going to take just a quick little break. BRB. Looks like Claude is still working, huh? Hey, thank you, Raymond. Been using Obsidian Vault with Codex. Use the Obsidian sync to add tasks to my Kanban board. Nice, nice. Yeah, I haven't started playing with it with Codex like this, but I honestly don't use Obsidian as often as I used to now that I've automated, you know, all of my CLI plus Obsidian based workflows with Clearmud OS and Muddy OS. Yeah, I don't like how that layout looks. Looks a little better right there. Nice, nice. That's always a good interview. I'm gonna have to watch that one. Okay, nice. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people using Obsidian. I mean, it's a markdown renderer, right? But using it to organize and compact memory and archive things, right? Listen, I've barely scratched the surface on Obsidian. I know Obsidian, you can do a lot with it. I've always used it as part IDE, but without the terminal, just to essentially view any markdown related files or documentation within a code base. Talk to my Obsidian Vault when I'm away instead of using Telegram or Discord, so it grabs my notes and uses that for my daily briefs. Nice, nice. I feel like there was a video that I backlogged to watch, not to create. Let's go find it. Was it a Greg Eisenberg video? I don't think that was it. He had somebody on the show. Yeah, I can't find the video. I could have sworn I either bookmarked it or downloaded it on a different device, maybe the iPad. Nice, nice, solid. Yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, me too, normally. Love his content. Listen, I've adopted his dub called the sauce, you know? I like to always I just love the term. That's one thing I'm also noticing is this only a CMux thing? That's gonna be a real bummer if there's gotta be a way. Huh. I mean, it's not intuitive. Any CMux users in the chat? Why can't I place an image in chat? What is going on here? That's really annoying. Let's figure this out real quick. Oh, interesting. So I guess it's a known issue right now. I could have sworn this was not an issue last month. So it is a known issue right now. So let's try an alternative here. Let's actually grab the entire page. And instead of dragging it as a temporary screenshot, I'm going to copy the one off the desktop, paste that. There we go. So you can paste it. You just have to copy the image, paste it into the response. But the drag and drop, it's not working right now. Interesting. Oh, for sure. What's up? What up, Whoosh? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Cheers. I hope you have a great start to the weekend. Nice and productive. I hope you touch some grass. Disconnect as much as you can. His voice puts me to sleep. Really? Greg's voice puts you to sleep? That's interesting. Content is good. Yeah, undeniably so. His content is good. I'm a big fan of Greg. Matt Wolf used to be there, stopped, now back on board with Riley Brown. Yeah, same. We'll go fight with Bear, dude. I'm sorry to hear about that. Darn greedy Bear. Why couldn't he just take one beehive? Why do you have to take all and leave you a half, you know? So I'm working on a distribution module that's going to break down in detail all of kind of like my favorite approaches. But off the top of my head, you know, first and foremost, because I know you, Maestro, I know you already have, you know, distribution channels with different types of audiences, right? So that's one right there. Number two, build in public, share your process, share your difficulties, share what you've learned, whether you start a blog or whether you post on Twitter every day. Start creating that kind of like proof of work that you're building the thing that you want to market. And then of course, Reddit, right? Don't go self-promote yourself on Reddit. But what you want to do is you want to find people who are building something like it, or find certain subreddits that cover the topic of what you're building something for, and just start interacting, start responding thoughtfully to people's questions without self-promoting, right? Because people will discover that down the road. And then after, let's say 2 weeks of commenting on related topics to whatever it is you're building that you want to market, you can then say, hey, I want to ask a favor of everybody here. And most people are going to notice your responses and notice that you were not self-promoting for weeks, but now you want some feedback into something that you've built, right? Reddit's kind of have to, like, what's the term I'm looking for? Thread the needle with how you self-promote on Reddit. But the best approach is just start responding to things in your niche, things you know, thoughtfully, for a couple of weeks at least, right? Before you even think about sharing what you're building. And then of course, there's also Product Hunt that you can register. That gives you some nice free eyes as well. But I have more ideas. I'm going to incorporate them obviously into Labs OS. But those are some great places to start because I know you already have a YouTube channel or two, right? You can already start promoting what you're building. But I think also documenting the process, documenting the journey, right, of what you're building is very important too. Yeah, don't lurk. Contribute, right? Lurking is one thing, contributing is another, right? So start contributing towards, and maybe that's what you meant, right? But I think the more you start to contribute with thoughtful responses, especially on Reddit, the more effective the post is going to be when you actually share the thing that you're building, because there's going to be proof of work that, listen, you know what you're talking about. You've been responding to these types of threads. related to this topic or this industry or this pain point for weeks now, if not months. So it's less likely also for somebody to promote you and get your post taken down. Lurk mode enabled. Sharka do 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 do, sharka do 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 do. If you have kids or nephews or just any kids in your life, you'll know what that reference is. I don't have kids, but lurking dash contributing. Yeah, for sure. And for the love of God, or the love of all things, like, please don't use AI to respond to people. I don't think it's a net positive for your brand. I don't think it's a net positive for society. I think it's a fun experiment, but it's obvious when AI is writing posts and writing replies. It is just so freaking obvious. Just please take the time to do it yourself, right? Sure, if you want to have AI help you with some drafts, by all means, but I think that human touch is very important. And at least from my perspective, I can tell when a post is AI. It's clear. It's clear as day. So just don't let AI like do that for you, okay? That's what I listen to at my home daily. Yeah, I think what I said was a great place to start, but I think you also know your niche better than me. Like, maybe your niche is predominantly on a different chat forum or a different platform, right? Just start making yourself known and just start responding thoughtfully to whatever it is you're building, whatever niche you're targeting. I think is very important. And then there's obviously like Product Hunt. I'm going to list off a few others, but in this Labs OS, but they're a great place to just post your product, get some free eyes. You just have to find a nice balance between not just outright self-promoting yourself on other platforms, because a lot of people don't respond well to that. Okay, solid. No errors, wonderful. All right, no errors. What do you want me to check on here? Yeah, and listen, so I want to revisit that topic. What I'm talking about more so is responding on Twitter, and like, it's one thing to write a blog post with AI that you train to be your voice. I think that's okay. I think that's solid. But what I'm talking about is replacing the need for a human to respond on Twitter and things like that. I'm against it, right? If you do it, by all means, do what you do. But it's clear when it's AI. It's clear when it's not a human. It's clear when you respond within seconds of somebody posting. Obviously AI, nobody's on Twitter 24/7 like that, right? Like, there's certain indicators into knowing that it's a bot, knowing that it's AI. And sure, most people won't notice, but there's going to be a majority of people who are going to start to see that and notice that and dislike that. I already dislike it. I generally unfollow accounts that I feel like are too spammy and clearly AI driven. Like, it's just, it is what it is. I'd rather have a human. My biggest thing is perfection. I got to stop trying to be perfect. Need to just hit go live. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure if you tuned in to Monday's live stream or Tuesday's live stream. I'll pull up that video in a second. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, comments on social, no good. But like drafting blogs and newsletters, I think is solid, right? As long as it's based off of your voice DNA, I think it's very important as well. Like defining a voice DNA pattern and then using that to write copy with AI, I think is a solid approach. But I'm more talking about like the social responses across all these social platforms like LinkedIn, X, YouTube comments, all those things. Like you should have a human doing that. Yeah, like I said, I think for what you're doing, it's okay, right? Because you're training your AI to talk more like you, or maybe have its own independent personality. But I'm more talking about replying on socials and those quick posts that it's like, how is this person responding so quickly? Like, well, it's AI. It's obvious. So everything loads, which is great. It's interesting how it's working on evidence lab first. Okay, this needs to be a little bit more intuitive. All right, so just, just from the perspective of navigating to the evidence module and then navigating to signals, there's too much fluff up top. So I really love that Compass says focus on X, Y, and Z, right? That banner across the top. I think that should primarily be in the dashboards. And then once you navigate to a tab within a module, I think that, we have the same icon off to the right. That vertical menu bar that collapses as you're navigating. I think that should have like a little tooltip or a little one or a little chat that allows people to click on it to see what the compass says. So it essentially, that banner would allow everything to shift up, right? And whatever the compass says is more of a tooltip, like a chat blurb off to the right in that vertical menu bar that's collapsed. What do you think about this? And then additionally, that banner, let's see what this looks like when we clean up that space and add this functionality. But I feel like that banner is also too tall and too fluffy, right? We want to get straight into the sauce when somebody's in a module in a tab, right? Less is more. I didn't even bother. I guess I did glance at the right rail. Okay, that does match. Let's fix that first and then I'll continue testing your list. I swear I hear like a very loud boom. It's probably just a delivery truck outside. But I always have to double check, you know. I think now that we're done with all the planning, I need to switch this off of max effort. You're taking way too long. I think we're going to switch you down to, I guess, I'll let it finish this task and then I'll switch it down to high. Or X high. Yeah, I think I'll do X. That way we have some... Because X high is adaptive, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, I guess not. I don't know why. I always thought the X meant adaptive. But like defaults to high. Interesting. Okay, we'll try X high. We'll go one level down here. I started off on max for the planning stage and realized we're still operating off of it. Oh, it is missing the beat here, huh? I'll let it finish its work. Maybe it's just simply not done yet. Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. It's fine. Oh, nice. It did finish. Nice. Oof. I like that. It's actually really cool. Now we do have to clean this up a little bit. Let's go check. These actually look good. All right, so as I'm navigating throughout, and this is just, you know, evidence. For example, when we're in metrics, experiments, signals, reviews, signal has a very tall header. I'm going to give you a screenshot because it's kind of insane. Whereas all the other tabs look good. I think there should be some type of H1 or maybe H2, H3 boldness to the title of that part. But other than that, I mean, less is more. You've simplified things, which is great. So I still have a lot more notes as far as each individual tab, but let's make sure we apply this kind of new approach and new structure across all of our modules, right? So like this should be a system-wide and OS-wide thing. When I go to these other modules, the compass says is still, like Simon Says, for example, is still, you know, on each. Oh, I stand corrected. You actually did apply that system-wide. Good job. Okay. I think this requires a bunch of testing from me. So I don't even know if I want to give Claude this prompt. I'm gonna give it to him anyway. Okay. Oh, there's some text overlap here. I wonder if that's just related to the resolution. We got to clean this up anyway, so that's fine. Okay, this feels a little bit too boilerplate. I know we're primarily working on evidence right now. Okay. See what he says here. Now, I feel like our Kanban board should, our compass should have like a, I'm also thinking we need to have like a universal or a module wide that cross-pollinates like a PM board. I feel like that's something to vibe in there. Nice. I actually really like that. Now, as far as milestones, though, I feel like this should be automatically filled out once we define those things throughout the modules. Got to simplify this quite a bit. Nice solid foundation, though. This is coming together. This is coming together. Wait for Claude's response here. Man, too much coffee. BRB real quick. Okay, still working. This dashboard still feels a little too busy. We'll have to dial this in. I know we haven't really put too much work on this part today. Ooh, I just had another idea for a video as well. Actually, should I prompt Muddy for this one? Oh, minor bug. Hey, so I want you to invoke the / YouTube script command for Clearmud OS. And the reason I'm prompting you is I want to make sure we provide the context. I want to build out in a video the team section. So our team, we have a default list view, a traditional org chart structure. We also have the floor plan that is dependent on that list view. And then we have the immersive 3D experience that is based off of the floor plan, right? So they're all synchronized. I want to teach people how to build this. I think that'll be a fun video for those interested in building out a team section on their dashboard. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you follow, the normal workflow that we handle when we actually click the button on Clearmud OS, and then pick the best strategy and go ahead and add it to our calendar for me. Please and thank you. Also, feel free to create a video prop for this as well with all the prompts to recreate this so we can follow along on the video. All right. I think that'll be a great video too, because I've had a lot of questions about the org chart, but we haven't focused a video on how to build out a nice looking org chart plus the floor plan plus the 3D, which I don't think I've shown you guys this at all. But this is dependent on the floor plan, so they're always synchronized. Now, I still need to improve it a little bit. So come to think of it, maybe I should improve this, because what I want is dependent on where the camera is, this wall should disappear. So you can actually see the office from that perspective. We also need to make some improvements to the immersive 3D experience of the floor plan. So for example, when I'm navigating the camera, the view from the camera, it should automatically hide the walls that are in front of the camera and then the particular office that we're working at. Currently, you have all 4 walls up no matter where I move the camera. I can really only see each individual office top down. So it needs to be intelligent to the point where if the camera's looking at a wall, that wall should disappear. Essentially, right? Does this make sense? I could probably articulate this a little bit better, but go ahead and delegate this and make sure you update the video prop and script accordingly once we apply this fix. All right, back to labs. We change system wide tab header at the top of every module. All right, I'm going to give you an example here. So when I'm looking at compass and milestones, the spacing is perfect. When I go to diagnoses, there's too much spacing or padding above and below that header. So it needs to be slim. Like, please reference milestones as a rule of thumb for the entire system, all the tabs. Hey, nice, nice. Yeah, this has been on my list and I just never added it to my queue. When building, I recommend building your dashboard in, a subscription-based model. Now, if you're using OpenAI for your OpenClaw setup, then, just build away, right? It does cost a good amount up front, but I think it cost me more than others because I tinkered so much. I created so many different revisions until I was happy with one. But no, when it loads every time, it does not cost you tokens once you have it built out. For me, it's more of a visual reference. I know there's some people out there who have like animated offices that show what the agents are doing. I think that's a cool feature to build down the road, but that's a vanity thing that doesn't affect its performance and its effectiveness, right, as a system. This is just cool to visualize. I think down the road, though, I can come in here and I can see, right, I would have to create a link between the task manager, because the task manager will show me all the active sessions. So what I would probably want to do is incorporate a task manager to 3D Office floor plan synchronization, to where if there's an active session for an agent or a sub-agent, it should show up on that 3D map, right, so to speak. But that's not something I'm interested in building right now, because as I mentioned, that's vanity. That doesn't affect performance, nor would I use it that often, right? I would more use it for content purposes, right? And yeah, cool, this looks cool, but like, what's like, at the end of the day, we want our system to save us time, right? So, but down the road, I do plan on incorporating that feature for sure. But that's just not a priority of mine right now. And realistically, that video is probably not coming out until the end of the month. But I wanted to at least get it on my content calendar now. Why isn't chat being shown either? That's weird. Additionally, that video prop should stay local for now. Oh, it takes a while to load, that's why. Yeah, that video prop should stay local for now. We don't want to push that to our production site yet, because this is a video that's going to come out at the end of the month. All right. All right, so in revenue, header looks good. Evidence, there's still too much spacing. It's inconsistent across all the tabs. For distribution, the same, it's inconsistent, too much spacing. For agents, yeah, too much spacing. Here, I'm gonna give you an example of the spacing we want. Looks like for experience, the spacing's perfect across all tabs. So use experience as, just check out that code base for the experience module and all underlying tabs. We want the header to look like that, right? As far as the spacing above and below the text, and the overall height of that column, or rather that row, to be consistent across all tabs, across all modules, please. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't like that. Give an image there. Did you message here in YouTube chat? I don't check Discord during live streams if you did it in Discord. Yeah, I don't see it off top here. Yeah, did I miss one of your comments? No, I usually get through all of them. I mean, I think there's definitely a pain point that you're solving there, but specifically, like, I wouldn't go too broad with it. Where did you post this? Did you post like a detailed thread somewhere in Discord that I'm just not aware of? No, it shouldn't. Let me go check the command center to see what's been blocked. So I stopped allowing it to block things. It just flags it now. Let's see. When did you post this? Because I don't see anything blocked or flagged in the past, 48 to 72 hours here. I love that chat's flowing here. But I don't see... Yeah, if you can post it again, maybe in the 1M ARR channel. I think that's a good channel to be posting these types of ideas. Oh, okay. From the 6th, 2 days ago. I see you. I think there's definitely an opportunity here. I believe there's already a site doing this, so I would definitely analyze. I just don't know them off the top of my head. They like, they kind of went viral, so to speak. A lot of news outlets started posting about this site. Are you aware of what I'm talking about? So initially, my first impressions with this site, I think it fits a certain target audience, and I think it's more crypto native people. To me, that is what it feels like. I feel like I'm all for niching down, right? And creating a user experience and a UI that targets a specific type of individual. So I would first look at, like, I think from a broad perspective, this is great, right? But like, maybe the success lies in niching down to specific target audiences and workflows and use cases, and then going broad, right? So starting very narrow and then opening it up to that approach, right? Of becoming like a Fiverr, if you will, right? Because what you've built here it reminds me of like a Fiverr, essentially, right? But for agents. Is that correct? And here, I realized I had it off screen, but we can have chat chime in too on their advice. Like, to me, don't get me wrong, like, it looks great. You did a great job, but who's the target? Who's the target? Does this site, does this user experience and UI encourage that target audience to actually interact and want to explore it? Or do they get turned off immediately, right? So it's like, I'd start thinking from that perspective. Because also I think like, listen, I have nothing against dark mode. I'm more of a light mode person. So when I see something dark mode, I immediately think developer. I immediately think like, I don't want to say entirely techie, but I think developer status, right? So like, that's where my brain goes. I know I'm unique. I know I don't speak for everybody, but I think a majority of people would also think the same, right? This dark mode feel to it feels like this developer's environment. So maybe they would immediately click back if you're trying to target a business owner who is used to more light themed, right? So like, just my first impressions. Though I love the font, I love the header, I love the flow. I love that you're targeting, you know, crypto related payments. So this sounds like this would be your audience, right? So maybe building this out and targeting crypto related YouTubers and X accounts, right? So like maybe the line of work is all crypto focused, right? Crypto news, crypto tools, whether it's Web3, whether it's a BTC, oh, really? Listen, I'm unique. I don't think I speak for everybody, but for me, dark mode immediately triggers the thought that, oh, this isn't for retail, right? But like, I'm unique. I like light mode. I like dark mode. I like them both, but I love me a good light mode. Nice, nice. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, and like just so thinking also back from the perspective of like, you know, maybe it blossoms into something else. Maybe you allow different types of payments, right? And it's not just payment chains. To me, this is a crypto focused marketplace, right? Because to me, you have different chains, right? I don't know if people can pay with their credit cards, right? These things like that. So to me, it's more of a crypto focused audience, which is what I'm understanding. And I think this dark mode is great for crypto as well, right? You have that Bitcoin orange. I don't know if it's the exact same orange, but it reminds me of Bitcoin, right? So I think you're onto something, but I think it's like a matter of like, is that your target audience or do you want it to be a little bit more broad? If you want it to be a little bit more broad, I would probably include like icons of payment options with the traditional Visa, the traditional MasterCard, if you want to incorporate those payment options. Like let people know above the fold, like, yes, it's crypto, but it's also traditional forms of payment as well, right? So like, those are some initial thoughts. I can give you some more in-depth thoughts for sure, but yeah, those are my initial thoughts and a feel about, you know, like I only have a confusion of who's it for. And then after some thinking, I realized it's for the crypto industry. But if you're saying you want it to be a broader marketplace, you need to think from the perspective of other people outside of crypto, right? And give certain indicators that it's not only a crypto marketplace or a crypto job board for that matter. And maybe even a how it works immediately, right? So like people love visuals. So like maybe the scroll down, or maybe you kind of have it hovering between this section and this section, but a timeline on how it works, right? Human visits job board, pays for job, et cetera, et cetera. Agent takes job, handles job, sends report, right? Sends approval, gets approval, payment confirmed. Like that whole kind of like flow. I'm sure you can vibe code a really cool looking flow of how this is operating so that people from a simple perspective are like, don't get lost from here to here, right? They see immediately, oh, here's how it works. And you obviously don't get too detailed, but get as detailed as you need to, I think would be a cool little like workflow to capture attention of like, oh, this is actually cool. This is how it works. Great. Tell me more, right? So those are some initial thoughts that I have for you. Okay. No, hey, respect. And maybe this is your target audience at first. So like maybe try to find ways to target people who need agents to do work, right? Or who want work done to their videos, their short form, et cetera, that agents can handle, right? Like targeting it from that perspective, I think would be a smarter approach rather than going too broad too soon. Solve that pain point for crypto focused creators that can post jobs and they don't have to pay. I mean, Fiverr's pretty cheap now, but if you can start to beat Fiverr's prices and Upwork's prices, like that in itself is marketing material. Like cheaper than Fiverr, cheaper than Upwork, right? Like those are call to actions. Those are hooks that would really convert. Like, oh wow, okay, cool. Tell me more, you know? So yeah, hope my brain dump's helpful. Great job, great look. I love it. Oh, hey now. Hey now. What is going on? Why are you timing out? Why are you timing out? I mean, he's clearly working. I think I need to troubleshoot this chat. This chat is not accurate anymore. This was solid before that OpenClaw update. The OpenClaw update caused some issues to my chat. That's a bummer. Additionally, ever since we updated, add this to your list of to-dos, delegate this to the engineering team, please. But ever since we updated to OpenClaw 5.6 from 4.23, I believe, our chat feature in our ops dashboard in Muddy OS is not streaming real time. It's not accurate. It's very buggy. I do a hard refresh. It shows a blank page for about 10 to 15 seconds. But then it's not always consistently showing me the stream of chat as it would if I'm using the actual OpenClaw dashboard on the loopback address port 18789. So look into what could be causing this. Let's fix it. Let's optimize our chat because I really love using this chat over the dashboard chat, over Telegram, over Discord. And so far in the past 24 to 48 hours, it has not been an enjoyable experience using Muddy Ops chat anymore. Okay, let's go back. All right, let's go check. Okay, this looks good. Title cleaned up. Nice, title cleaned up. And we can add more little things onto that header, but I think that's nice that it's consistent now across all the tabs. Solid. Solid. Love it. Great. All right, what time is it? Ooh, I think I need to switch gears. I want to record one more video and then get into post-production to get the edits done. Ideally, in future weeks, like next week, I should have all my edits done by Thursday at the latest and not be recording on a Friday. But here we are. So I think this is a great place to kind of stop and wrap it up. Let's make sure Peter's comment. Sorry, I missed this one. You got to make a soul token and tie it to the payment system, then burn 1%. Oh, meme coin tactics. Hey, well, listen, I want to thank everybody for being here, spending part of their Friday with me and vibing. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Core Arts Entertainment. Thank you. Hold on. Man, I haven't said your name in like 2 days. Bakish? I hope I just said that right. Thank you, Bakish or Sanvith. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Whoosh. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Mr. Baker. And I can't keep scrolling. That's all I can see. So I just want to say thank you again for taking time out of your day to come and hang and vibe We'll be back at it next week. Stay tuned for our long form videos posting tomorrow and Sunday. And hope you all have a great weekend. Don't forget to touch some grass. Disconnect as much as possible. That's definitely what I'm going to try to do. And yeah, I'll catch you Monday. Until then, happy building. Cheers.